when her voice gets louder, her moan gets stronger, that's for sure when you're just like, okay, that's it right there. That's what you got to be doing. But in other times when it's just like, or it goes silent, you ain't doing something right, you ain't hitting it right. Girls out here really have guys for D appointments strictly because the D is so good. So, you know, you want to be that guy because you can have a lot of females with literally... What is up, my BBossBaddies and my Batman fellas? It is your girl Bosana and welcome BBossArmy. So as you guys can tell by the title, today we're going to be talking about what not to do during sex, of course, with a woman. And I'm going to tell you some of the stuff that I find common that men do during sex that women don't like. And, you know, not just from my experience, but because women told me straight up, like, you know, girl, he did this. I didn't like when he did this. And there's a lot of stuff. You guys will be maybe surprised. But I have 3 major things for you guys. And I put 3 because I want you guys to let me know if you want another part of this. And also what else you guys want to see. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that is new pledgers. And for those who've been pledged, thank you so much. I'm still working towards uploading so much more and getting more active on here to have you guys see so many different sides of me and just, you know, enjoy being pledged to my Patreon. So I really hope I can deliver that for you guys. But in the meantime, I just want to say thank you for your support because it definitely keeps me going. All right, y'all. So let's get into this. First thing that I have written down, and I actually didn't, you can kind of say it's in order. I'll let you guys know as I'm going along, but I definitely didn't like say, oh, this, actually I did. I actually did. Never mind. I'm capping. Nah, there is one point in here for sure. I'm like, this is a must. This happens way too often, but let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, women do not like when you are forcing something that she told you she doesn't want done. Now, let's be real. There's some people out here, there's women out here that love aggressive sex. They love when their man takes control. That man takes control. He knows how to handle her. He knows what to do with the body. He knows how much pain she should get. He knows how much, you know, strength he should put in, how deep he should be getting in her guts, right? So he already knows all of that. Those are the types of guys that are probably super alpha, have it super figured out, and probably dealt with so many different women, right? Now, for those guys that it doesn't even mean that you have less experience, maybe you just haven't figured it out, but whatever the reason is for you guys, please understand when a woman tells you, I don't want that, stop. If she makes it so clear, then okay, stop. There's guys out here that, oh yeah, they don't give a F, and these females are saying, oh, stop. But you have to understand the different types of stop. There's stops that like, okay, can we do something else? Or there's stops like, I'm not really feeling this. Or there's like, yeah, I'm loving it. Those are all signs of stop. Doesn't have to just be like, stop, I don't want this. Maybe it's too much pain, right? And some guys are like, oh, I'm still gonna give it to her, right? If you're gonna be piping it down, you gotta make sure she likes that aggressive sex, because there's a lot of women out here that don't like that. And you know, it's a lot of pain. Sometimes fellas don't realize how much inches they're really putting in there that's affecting her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know the exact numbers of how much after a certain inch is gonna hurt for a female, because definitely every female can take different amounts of inches. Some females can take 12, some can take 8, some can only take 6. I don't know what type of girl you're dealing with, but you gotta definitely tell how, you gotta figure out how freaky she is, if she's a hoe. Those types of females that been doing it, they have more experience. So for them, something aggressive, her telling you, oh, stop, it's not really stop. But there's other signs of stop. And I just named like 3 of them, right? So please, fellas, when you guys are making love, or actually whatever it is that you are doing with that woman, when she hints it out that, you know, it's painful or it's just not fun, or she just seems like she's not enjoying it, you gotta do something different. You gotta hit a different angle. You gotta do something where it's gonna be like, okay, yeah, you know what? Oh yeah, this is it right now. Oh yeah, this is what she's liking. If you are messing with a woman that's actually like, you know, boring, or like you're not really about that freaky stuff, then yeah, you're not really gonna figure out what the hell she wants, because she's not even freaky or kinky or anything like that. But it's just more of like, some women, you have to understand them by their personality and what they like. If they want the soft tone, if they just want to make love, like, you know, you'll just figure it out by how they move, kind of, right? If she gets in there and she's ready to take it, you better give it to her, right? But like I said, back to angles. There's other ways you can mess with the woman, bang the woman out, and she's gonna take it all. She's gonna love it. There's so many different things. I'm not gonna name positions because, you know, every woman is different. But most definitely, like I said, try different things out. Make that sex life lively. Make it fun. There's a lot of things out there that you guys can get, right? And so when you guys are trying that, when you get the hint that, oh yeah, this is what she likes, when, you know, her voice gets louder, her moan gets stronger, that's for sure when you're just like, okay, that's it right there. That's what you got to be doing. But in other times when it's just like, or it goes silent, baby boy, you know, you ain't doing something right. You ain't hitting it right. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next thing on my list. And this is stopping, especially repeatedly. OMG, you guys. If you are having sexual intercourse with a woman and you can't handle going for rounds, or you cannot handle for even going for a nice 20-minute round, like, you know, if you can't put in work while you're beating up then you shouldn't. I don't know what fellas do. Maybe you gotta mess with a lot of different women to really figure out how to really be able to keep that momentum going and keep it building, you know, reach the climax. Maybe you guys have to figure out what you gotta do for that. Keep going. Never, ever, ever, ever stop. Never ever stop. Whether she wants you to stop, never stop. In sense of like, if you're messing with her and you're beating it up and she just is like, you know, tired, or she's just like, damn, then keep going. But you know, when she actually taps, like, you know, or she just seems like, I can't no more, that's when you guys should know, okay, it's a wrap. Baby girl can't take it no more. You know, I piped it up too deep. It's too much for her, you know. And then it's like, next round. Maybe she's gonna be ready for that next round. Maybe you just taught her how to be ready for rounds with you, because you be really extending these rounds. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not here to tell my experiences. Nah. We're not getting that personal. But I can most definitely tell you, from my experiences, you definitely will see the type of person that they are. Like, the more you can do better during sex, the more alpha you are gonna be. And I think maybe that's pretty obvious, but it's just like, that's your time to take charge. You are a man, especially in that, whatever you want to call it, that time period, that zone that you're in, that vibe that you're in. That's when you definitely show that alpha side of you. And I don't care what anybody says, you have to be more about than the woman. When a woman is too overly all in there and just so deep in there and just trying hardest, you definitely know, ooh, baby girl, where have you been? Like, what blocks have you been through, right? But I'm saying more in a sense, like, yes, a woman can have experience, but if you're dealing with that woman and she's like literally just past you, way past you, it doesn't necessarily just mean it's because she's really experienced and, you know, she's been taking it, but it just maybe means that you're really on the weaker side. You really got to figure out how to get stronger with your DICK, right? You're private. I don't want to swear too much or say, you know, words that I shouldn't be saying on YouTube, because you know how YouTube be sometimes, even though this is on Patreon, and I don't even know if I'm going to upload this on YouTube. I don't think I am, because I don't really talk about sex on YouTube, but we'll see. Anyways, as I was saying, back to what I was saying, to wrap that up, you guys, like, literally, if she's not able to, you know, please you or make you feel good, you know, maybe her vagina is loose, whatever it is, please, fellas, just keep going. Because at the end of the day, when you guys go your separate ways, you don't want to be talked about as the guy that couldn't take it, the guy that tapped out. And trust me, I told you I'm not here to talk about my experience, but I definitely met a guy that tapped out, and I'm like, ooh, what are you stopping for? And last thing, you guys, when I say repeatedly, I mean the guys that, all right, I need to get my energy back. Nah, you have to be able to have that energy kept in. If you're gonna keep stopping, especially when she's really in the zone, you have to keep going. And I'm telling you guys, maybe you guys know, but it's harder for females to really bust. Like, you know, I don't know if that sounds a little harsh to say, whatever, I don't care, but it's just harder for females. There is definitely guys that go for rounds and they learn how to not be able to bust right away, but I find that for a lot of girls, you have to make sure you're hitting it right, and you have to make sure you're doing it for a good period of time, because if you're not, she's not gonna bust, you know. She's not gonna have a real orgasm. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the last thing on my list, and this is busting first. Now I already talked about, you know, the whole go long, you know, rounds can happen, but never ever, and this is what I'm saying, like the last thing I just said, you can be going for rounds, but you cannot stop. You have to keep going. Let's say in between rounds, like let's say you did a full round, you can take your break, whatever, but do not keep stopping. Do not make it a thing to stop. Do not tap out. But now we're talking about busting. If you bust before the female, it's over for y'all. If you guys been dating, if she knows that you can actually not bust before her, okay, cool, you're good, but you still shouldn't make that happen. But if you are dealing with this woman, make sure she busts first. And that's why it's so important for you not to consistently stop. That's why it's so important for you to actually really be putting in work. And honestly, having sexual intercourse is work. Like, it's work. It's not just, oh, lay up down and, you know, and you're just gonna get this 1-2 pipe. Yes, there's quickies, but you still have to be pounding and you have to actually be putting in work. There's girls that love to ride, but there's definitely a lot of girls that are just laying up and just laying there, and there's just gonna be some dummy dolls, you know, some girls that really can't do nothing for you, and they're just there, and their vagina is not even great, and it ain't even wet, it ain't even tight, right? So whatever the case is with that girl, you just gotta make sure your D is fine. Your D is that bomb D, so she can come back to that D. And I didn't talk about this. Girls out here really have guys for D appointments strictly because the D is so good. So, you know, you want to be that guy because you can have a lot of females with literally because that D is so good. Okay, so basically to wrap up with the last thing, make sure you never ever bust before the female. If you are about to bust, there's things you can do as far as slowing it down. Don't stop, but slowing it down, or whatever else that you fellas, you know, should have an idea of what to do, because you're the one with the DICK, not me. I'm just trying to tell you what a woman would really like, right? Like I said, to wrap it all up, don't bust first. Make sure you are in there putting in work, and don't be the lazy guy. Oh my gosh, I definitely want to do a part 2 to this video, because there's stuff that I heard girls say. I didn't even get to experience that, but I'll say this because you guys are so lovely and I love you guys so much, and you guys always support. Do not be the guy that only has for himself. Don't bust a nut just for yourself and be done. Don't tap out and just be done. You have to please the woman. And I remember this girl specifically saying that he me to get for him. He didn't give a fuck about my. Don't just mess with that girl because you want to bust a nut, and don't please yourself. You have to be able to please her. And truth of the matter is, women are not the one in the room to be the one to please the man most times, because their job is just to have a wet vagina and a tight vagina, realistically, right? And kind of keep it pretty and shaved, right? So that's all a woman has to do. It's not that hard, right? At least I think it's not that hard. So because of that right there, you guys, you the fellas, you're supposed to actually be beating it up. You're supposed to actually be the one piping it down. And because of that right there, fellas, what does that mean? That means you got to be ready to go for a workout every time. So that means don't have sex just to please yourself, just to get your own bust. Like, no. And make sure that she actually has a good time so you can have good D. Okay, so I really hope this video helped you guys out, and if you want a part 2, let me know. This is very interesting to talk about because, you know me, I don't really do videos like this at all, so this was pretty interesting to talk about. But if it did help you guys out, please let me know, and I'll definitely do more like this, and you guys will see me in my next video. Bye, guys.